Good night, Grenada, Carrick, Kopiti, Monica, and the rest of the world. Welcome to another Mikey Life, people. This is where it all happens. We are talking about the good, the bad, and the Mikey. It is a final night, makeshift kind of thing, and then the next time you see us, we're going to be in a fully fixed up studio, all right? I have to say that up front. So it's Friday, and we want to thank you for being with us. It's going to be a good weekend. I can feel it. It's going to be a great weekend, in fact, and I hope that's going to be like that for you. We are not going to keep it too long tonight. Every Friday we don't say we can keep it out too long, all right? But no, seriously, tonight we're not going to keep it too long, all right? Passenger bus overturns. We're going to talk about that. Near tragedy in the city as we take a look at the in the paper segment, as well as the Berg denied bail. And we have more things to tell you about, all right? So brace all yourself on the business. It's all about Mikey Live on a Friday, yes? Seriously, I'm keeping it along tonight. Folks, we want to let you know that the headlines is brought to you through the kind compliments of WPG10. That is channels 10 and 11 on Facebook. In fact, we are live on channel 10 and 11 as we speak. Now, if you have not yet done so, I'd like to encourage you to share the program. Sharing the program means that other people can get to look at the program when they don't get a notification. So you better go ahead and share the business. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our first break, and when we come back, we'll play some mashup because it could be real news in all your Lily Lolo. So stay tuned.
Grenada, this one will have you rolling.
I'm breaking up with you.
Look way.
It's over.
The first annual KFC Come Laugh With Us comedy show featuring live from Nigeria comedy sensation Emanuela Success and the Mark Angel comedy crew.
I've sent the date. See you when I come.
Set the date. Mark the day. Saturday, December 14th. Grenada National Stadium. Get your early bird ticket. Kids under 16, $30. Adults, $50. Kids under 16. VIP tickets, $80. Adults, $150. Get your tickets online at GoToFet, TicketPal, and your regular ticket outlets. Grenada, this one will have you rolling. You, yes you, we welcome you to a new era. Genesis. 31st December 2019, All Year's Night, featuring the headline band from Antigua, the original Burning Flames.
I command you to jump.
Burning Flames. Burning Flames, plus more, live at the Spice Basket Courtyard. Get your early bird tickets, 80 EC. Couples early bird tickets, 150 EC. Online at gotofat.com and your regular ticket outlets for a new era. Genesis. You, yes you.
It's stylelicious here at Quartz Optical. The best in style and designs for your perfect frame. Converse, Ray-Bans, Kate Spade, Prada, and lots more. Buy any frames and lenses and get a chance to win $2,000 cash. Get it now and pay nothing for 60 days with ready finance. Only at Quartz Optical, the largest and fastest growing optical chain in the Caribbean. Visit our website at www.optical.com to book your appointment today. Offer ends November 24th, 2019.
So welcome again, and of course we are ready to tell you what's really making the news tonight. Now the first thing we have for you is a notice, so let's just go to that notice. All right, the National Water and Sewage Authority NAWASA advises consumers in Springs, Bailey Hill, Jean Anglais, Golf Course, Cafe, Woodlands, Paddock, Belmont, and surrounding communities in the parish of St. George that in order to facilitate network connection for the golf course Jean Anglais line replacement project, they will experience an interruption in your water supply from 9 p.m. on Sunday, November 10th to 5 a.m. on Monday, November 11th. Now, consumers, you are therefore encouraged to collect and store water in clean, covered containers prior to the scheduled interruption. Please be advised that although the system will be reopened at 5 a.m., consumers in elevated areas may receive your supply within 2 hours after the scheduled restoration period. The authority said they would like to apologize for any inconveniences caused and would like to thank you, the consumers, for your patience as they work towards the delivery of a safe, adequate, and reliable water supply. Another 4 teams will make their way to the quarterfinals of the Wagiti Super Knockout Tournament after weekend games today and tomorrow. Now, today, I think the FC Springs FC was going to be playing against Monjelou Sports Club. I'm not too sure that game should be playing still or just about wrapping up. All right, and then the second game, Eagles Super Strikers and Queen's Park Rangers will be playing. And then on Saturday, check this out, Montreal combined will be playing Fontenoy United in the first game, and the second game, GBSS, Antillean Group GBSS will be coming up against the Paradise FC International. This game will be mud. So all you get ready for them games at the Wagiti Super Knockout Tournament. Yeah, and last weekend, Hurricane St. John Sports, Hard Rock, and Glover's Spice Boys SU moved into the quarterfinal round. All right, so let's see what's going to happen for this weekend. Remember, it's a knockout tournament, so the losing team goes home. The Chief Executive Officer of the Grenada Tourism Authority, Patricia Marr, says that the continued success of the tourism sector depends on Grenada being top of mind with travel industry professionals and media from around the world. Now, her comments were made at the recently held World Trade Market Tourism occasion in London. Pure Grenada reportedly claimed 2 travel media awards. So, bam, 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 bam. We have to say congratulations, you know. I mean, Grenada nice and thing. I mean, and we walk it. You understand? Anyway, Grenada is soon to be the 13th country to benefit from Phase 2 of the Regional Coconut Development Project, with the aim of strengthening the alliances towards increasing productivity and profitability of the crop. And we were telling you about that in our program last night. All right, but I just wanted to state that again tonight and just let you know that if you missed it last night, of course, you can check out our story. I think I should have it on the website. If not, you can just check it out from last night's program. I just wanted to talk about that. Right. So the next thing that we need to tell you about, boy, we want to welcome you to the Indie Papers segment. And the first thing that we want to tell you about is what they call a near tragedy in the city. Even today we were talking about that. All right, now just over 1 month after a woman lost her life by drowning when a minibus in which she was traveling plunged into the sea on the carnage with all 15 passengers on board, there was another close call last Friday for another group of passengers. This time, however, good judgment on the part of the driver saved the day. The incident took place just after midday in an area known as Carnage Hill in the heart of the capital city, St. George's. Now, passengers were seen jumping through the window of the bus as the driver, who had seemingly lost control of the vehicle, decided to deliberately hit it against the sidewalk rather than rolling back into a line of traffic at the foot of the hill. The female officer that was calling traffic said she had already raised her hand signaling the bus to stop, but he chose to ignore the signal and as a result was forced to stop at the brow of the hill, since she had already called traffic from another direction. The officer went on to say that realizing what was happening, she decided to allow the driver to proceed. However, in attempting to do that, the vehicle instead went backwards down the hill. The driver of the bus, Dexter Thomas, however, chose to lambaste the traffic warden as a wicked woman. According to him, he had no idea that the officer had stopped him because he was directly behind 2 other vehicles that then turned into adjacent streets. According to him, although he saw the officer's hand up, he told himself it could not have been him because he had already begun to move up that hill. However, when he got to the top of the hill, the officer stepped in front of the bus to inform him that she would issue him a ticket. Thomas said he was forced to stop, and while attempting to move off, the vehicle cut off. According to him, as a result, his braking system malfunctioned and the bus started moving backward. Thomas said he had no choice but to use the sidewalk to bring the bus to a stop. One passenger said it was a terrifying experience, but commended the bus driver for doing the right thing. According to him, choosing to roll down the entire hill would have spelled disaster, not just for the passengers in the affected bus, but other vehicles that were awaiting a signal from the traffic officer. It's a very interesting story there. And just as a driver myself, I'm not speaking specific to this particular incident, but I'm just saying as a driver myself, I find it to be a bit challenging at times because you are not really considering looking too far ahead when you're driving in that area. So usually you focus on what's in front of you, particularly that area being a cross street. You look out for pedestrians and so on. But sometimes the wardens or the police officers at the top sometimes attempt to get your attention and will not always do. And you cannot fault the driver for that because they are not within line of sight. Sometimes you have to remember that they're there to look up to see whether or not they're calling you or somebody else. And sometimes you're not sure, as the driver is saying here, but I don't want to refer to this incident because I don't want to send the wrong message. But sometimes you are not sure whether it is you that has been stopped or the vehicle behind you. So we have to understand what's really happening in that area there, whether or not it's an ideal place or so. I'm not sure. There were traffic lights just at the junction, right? Probably if there is something to indicate to drivers from there what they should do, whether they should proceed up the hill or not, probably that will help. But as it stands now, sometimes the people calling traffic get through and other times they don't. And I don't know that we can always fault the drivers for that because it has happened to me before. And you cannot say that the person not looking up is not being attentive, because if you are to be attentive, then you're going to look at exactly what's happening in front of you within that intersection there, because there are people coming from all directions there. So that's a very interesting one. But anyway, thank God that it wasn't tragic, and at least it ended with no one really being hurt. As we continue on the In the Papers segment from the Grenada Informer, here we can tell you that there's an article that speaks of De Burgh being denied bail. They say that moves to have former Capital Bank Chief Executive Officer Fintan De Burgh out on bail on medical consideration while his appeal before the court is being pursued has been shelved. Now, De Burgh's lawyer, according to this report, Jerry Edwin, last Friday withdrew his appeal during a sitting of the Court of Appeal, as the appeal court judges hinted that the grounds advanced for having Mr. De Burgh out on bail did not show sufficient reason why his medical condition could not be treated at the prison. De Burgh was sentenced to 25 years behind bars in 2018 after he was found guilty of a series of criminal offenses, among them misappropriation of funds and falsification of documents during his stint as head of the Capital Bank International. Well, I see that work is being done at the site of the Capital Bank, the old Capital Bank site, and the South City Plaza Hotel. So I'm not sure really what's going on there, but it seems like work has some sort of renovation work has started. I don't know, Papa. Let me leave that one day. Yeah, De Burgh. I remember my first outside broadcast ever in my career was at De Burgh's house, and we had to make it happen. And that was like in 2001, I believe, somewhere there. First ever outside broadcast, and yeah, had to make it happen in the man house, Yeah. Anyway, let me leave that talk there. We are moving on here on Mikey Live, and the next thing that we have to tell all about, boy, we're still on the In the Paper segment, and we've been following that incident that happened in Carrier Coup, well, Petit Martinique to be exact. Murder charges expected to be laid against a resident of Petit Martinique sometime this week. Well, it was, all right, for the death of native Kenroy Brown. Reports have been confirmed that the man who was taken to Carriacou on Tuesday evening by the Coast Guard provided the investigating team of officers with pertinent information on what occurred in the early morning of Saturday on the Bellevue Road. Brown, 46, who was also known as Wahoo, had a cut to the back of his head and a stab wound to his back. There are reports that he also sustained a stab to the abdomen and one to the hand. He also appeared to have been strangled by either a rope or portions of his dreadlocks hair. A postmortem was conducted, and it did in fact reveal that he died as a result of strangulation. And this story goes on and on and on and on. What we can tell you is that you can probably check out our website. No, actually not our website. That's in the paper segment. So you can check out the newspaper for more on this one. That's the Grenada Informer. Olio, we've been talking a lot about how relationships and people being in relationships, and when that relationship break off, what should happen to the parties, whether it's a man or a woman, particularly when you live together for a certain amount of years. And I remember telling you guys on a serious note that after 5 years, this in effect should be regarded as some sort of union, some sort of legal union, and that you should just go and collect a document. You understand? Because after giving 5 years of your life, then you know what? That must count for something. Well, I found an article in the newspaper relating to a prominent individual in Grenada. And while some may argue as to the relevance of the story in the paper, I want to take it from another angle. So I would read that particular article for you guys. All right? Now listen to this. Very interesting article. Former West Indies opening batsman Devon Smith loses 15% of his $1 million estate to his former lover and mother of his 2 children. This according to a recent ruling by the Court of Appeal delivered last Friday during a sitting at the court in Grenada. Now the ruling, which now sets aside an initial ruling at the level of the civil court that went in Smith's favor, claims that the plaintiff, Elizabeth Halley, who had been in a relationship with Smith for 18 years and lived with him for 13 years, was entitled to benefit from the proceeds of his estate. Okay? Very, very interesting article. If you may permit me to read on, all right? The ruling, according to the ruling handed down last Friday, the appeal judges agreed that having lived together for several years with plans to marry and have a family, there was a level of expectation on her part to benefit from the estate. Now, the judgment noted that the building in question was built by Halley's father and brother at a special cost, given the fact that their daughter and sister was a beneficiary of the property. Also, Miss Halley had taken a loan that contributed to the decoration of the house. However, in 2016, Smith ended the relationship, claiming that he was marrying someone else, and ordered Miss Halley to vacate the property. He later offered her $10,000 as a compensation for what she had contributed. Now, the judges ruled that given all the prevailing circumstances, Hallie was entitled to 15% of the entire estate, which includes the house and 2 parcels of land, following an evaluation to be done on or before November 30th, 2019. Smith is required to pay the cost of the appeal. Now, speaking to the members of the media following last Friday's ruling, the lawyer for the appellant, Derek Sylvester, described the ruling as a historic one for the region, since it is the first time the Court of Appeal has ruled on such a matter in our jurisdiction. According to him, this highlights the fact that financial contribution in a relationship is one factor the court ought to take into consideration when arriving at a decision. The court, he said, must look at the contribution, both direct and indirect, in a holistic manner, not individually. The court, he said, decided that Hallie, the mother of Smith's 2 children, contributed significantly, and therefore she ought to benefit in a real way. And this is the reason why I'm telling you, is not because of the subjects involved, but this is what we've been talking about since last year. Since last year, in terms of how how the law should treat situations like these. And apparently, as the attorney is rightfully saying, this may just set a precedent for other cases of that nature. Very interesting case. Very, very, very interesting. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, boy. Very interesting. Yeah. I'm sorry if anyone feels offended, about my position on the matter. I'm not talking about any individuals here. I don't care if it's Tom, Dick, or Harry, but it's the very same thing with what we have been talking about on the program since last year. And here we see it manifest right here in Grenada, because we have had a lot of that happening in the past. Yeah. And anyway, rather interesting development here. Rather interesting. Wow. Chano. Yeah, whether it's a man or a woman, I don't think it's fair. Regardless to their financial input in the relationship, I don't think it's fair for a woman to just walk out on a man just like that. After being together or living together for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, I don't think it should be able to happen just like that. Yeah? You can't have the man staying home, doing everything around the house, while you go out and make some money. The man taking care of the house, taking care of the children, cleaning up the place, something like that. And then all of a sudden I get bright, and then you decide that you want to move on because he too low class for you or whatever it is, and you're just gone. You just tell a man, bounce. No. After 5 years, you're bound to some sort of compensation. And as the time progresses, the percent should increase. So once you reach something like 5 years, you're entitled to 5%, 6%, 7%, 8%, 9%, 10%. And we're going on. The longer you're going there, the more you're entitled to. I mean, this is such basic. You understand? And that's why I tell them, don't vote me. Because when here I come, them things and them I fixing. Even imagine this. Go ask Delma Thomas. Ask her. The Minister for Social Development last year. There was a case like that, and I told the woman, please, as the Minister for Social Development, it is our responsibility, it's your responsibility to make sure that these things don't happen in our society. Don't tell me about, nobody's doing it. Well, you set the example. Common law union is real. It's not like back in the day. Things have changed. And so, one's value to a relationship cannot only be measured by the monetary contribution or strength or input? No. No. You're mad, dog. I'm not talking about the case that we just spoke about. Because those of you who's following the program, we have been having that conversation. So who want to vex, all the vexing for yourself. Right, let me go. Anyway, leave that talk there. Again, I'm saying it again. I am not talking about the case in particular. I'm talking about in general. We've been saying that for a long time. We're moving on. How are we looking for time? Okay, so earlier, let me jump ship a bit. All right. Yeah. So this was an article in the Informer, boy. Yeah. The next thing that we have to tell all boy, an officer believed to have been involved in the arrest of the son of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman has been killed. You see, the police officer who arrested El Chapo's son, was killed in a hail of more than 150 bullets. But I tell you, we ain't staying on the program long tonight, so I ain't reading that story for you. I'm just telling all you. In Trinidad, his son. Was that in Trinidad, boy? I think, yeah. I just forgot not the El Chapo, but the next story that I'm about to tell you. Right, his son who, anyway, man beat his mother to death in 2007 after she quarreled with him for not doing enough in the house. Has 4 months and 14 days left to serve on his sentence. Yes, that's in Trinidad. Vishal Maharaj, 32, was sentenced on Friday. You understand? He was sentenced on Friday in Port of Spain after a jury convicted him of manslaughter on the basis of provocation. So maybe they're saying that she might have provoked him. You understand? So he spent some time in jail already because it was a long time. So now that he's sentenced after 12 years, it's what? He's sentenced after because he's sentenced, so he spent so many years. So it's like, time spent. So he's coming out in 4 months. And that's basically what's happening there, right? Ex-stripper jailed for convincing a lover to kill her fiance before having him killed too. We have posted that on our website as well, so you can check it out, mikeylive.com. This is probably the first time I'm going to stick to my promise. Remember, I tell all you, we're not staying long on the program tonight. Some of all you didn't share the program yet, all too bad mind. Folks, there was an accident today, boy, where a bus overturned in St. John. We were trying to get more details on what really happened. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that happened. But all I can tell you, it's a bizarre accident. You understand? Well, no one seemed to have died, but the accident itself seemed to have been serious. And this is just showing you where the bus passed. The path in which the bus traveled before coming to a complete stop in the middle of the road on quote unquote its head. Bangalang bang 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 bang, people. A passenger bus. Fortunately, no one died from this incident. You understand? Incident said to have happened in St. John. You understand? In the past few days, yesterday, there were about 2 serious accidents involving multiple motor vehicles. Separately. You understand? Jano. You're telling me? You understand? Well, whoever were occupants of that vehicle, you're lucky dog. Because we could have been telling a different story about that thing today, dog. You know what I mean? You're telling me. Anyway, let's leave that talk here, you see? And then we're going on to this serious thing now. Please, all you, if you want to know them people, tell them to call the number 420-8226 as soon as possible. Or if you're listening to the program, call the number 8226 day or night. 420-8226. Nadia Simon of Mongay, Jocelyn Pierre of Calivini, Kelvin Cosby of Grand Anse, Livingston Smith of Mount Hatman, Sheldon James of Lamode, Judy Philbert of Lamode, Ruth Paul of River Road, Dexter Francis of St. Paul, Byron Frank of Vendome, Cheryl Williams of Grand Anse, Garvey McPhee of Grove, Raymond Lewis of Grand Roy, Sherlan Ambrose of Grove, Ashdan Thomas of Moran, Donisha Budd of Hope, St. Andrew, Kimron Alexander Maribo, Crystal Rodney, Grand Bra, Alberto Lewis Paradise, Elroy Fletcher Grenville, Jenny Samuel Conference, Brendan Douglas Harford Village, Sojin Blair, Balthazar, Ricky Lalji Hope, Errol Ruben Pearls, Andrel Noel Chantimel, Alicia Fabian Saters, Dagmar Chavez Westerhall, and Denron George Rucane. All of you, please call the number 420-8226 as soon as possible. We've got the national report coming up, but before that, let's take a break.
Grenada, this one will have you rolling.
I'm breaking up with you. It's over.
The first annual KFC Come Laugh With Us comedy show featuring live from Nigeria comedy sensation Emanuela Success and the Mark Angel comedy crew.
I've sent the date. See you when I come.
Set the date. Mark the day. Saturday, December 14th. Grenada National Stadium. Get your early bird ticket. Kids on the 16th, $30. Adults, $50. Kids on the 16th. VIP tickets, $80. Adults, $150. Get your tickets online at GoToFet, TicketPal, and your regular ticket outlets. Grenada, this one will have you rolling. You, yes you, we welcome you to a new era. Genesis. 31st December 2019, All Year's Night, featuring the headline band from Antigua, the original Burning Flames.
I command you to jump.
Burning Flames. Burning Flames, plus more. Live at the Spice Basket Courtyard. Get your early bird tickets, 80 EC. Couples early bird tickets, 150 EC. Online at gotofab.com and your regular ticket outlets for a new era. Genesis. You, yes you.
It's stylelicious here at Quartz Optical. The best in style and designs for your perfect frame. Converse, Ray-Bans, Kate Spade, Prada, and lots more. Buy any frames and lenses and get a chance to win $2,000 cash. Get it now and pay nothing for 60 days with ready finance. Only at Quartz Optical, the largest and fastest growing optical chain in the Caribbean. Visit our website at www.optical.com to book your appointment today. Offer ends November 24th, 2019.
Alrighty, folks, and before we go to the national report, of course, we have the entertainment piece for you. Tonight, it's an encore, probably the best song that we've played on the entertainment piece. And tonight I just wanted to reiterate, to underscore, to repeat, and to at least reinforce the point that whatever it is that you're going through, that might be your darkest moment, but joy cometh in the morning. This is Laura Lisa Better Days. And again, for those of you who missed the storyline behind the video, you're having a second and final opportunity to get it right. Better Days Are Coming, a big song, big song. I understand that it was Sonics that actually did the video production of that song and probably the storyline as well for the video. That is just the best I think I would see in a very long time. Seriously, this is just a classic production, the song and the video production. Kudos to you guys. Now folks, we want to transition over into the National Report.
CARICOM ICT ministers tackle the subject of roaming charges throughout the community. We'll have details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for Friday, November 8th, 2019, I am Rikisha St. Louis. Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, Minister for Information and Communication Technologies, along with his fellow Caribbean Community ICT ministers, have agreed to collectively approach the region's telecommunications providers to eliminate roaming charges throughout the community. This was one of the outcomes of a special meeting of the Council for Trade and Economic Development on Friday by video conference, which was chaired by Dr. Mitchell. The ICT ministers identified this as one of the priorities which they see as an early benefit with respect to achieving a CARICOM single ICT space, and one which will provide social and economic benefits to the people of the region. Dr. Mitchell, who is the lead head of Government for Science and Technology, including ICT, said addressing the issue of roaming charges would give a real boost to the regional integration. He also noted that this has the potential to drive growth and development within CARICOM. CARICOM's Secretary General Ambassador Erwin LaRocque concurred with the sentiment of the Prime Minister and stated that this should be viewed as a low-hanging fruit in achieving the single ICT space, which should be realized as soon as practically possible. The single ICT space will allow for harmonization of the ICT and other legislative frameworks in CARICOM, the removal of roaming charges, the encouragement of digital entrepreneurship, equipping all CARICOM nationals as digital citizens, and looking at ICT financial solutions, among other regional benefits. The ministers also emphasized the importance of cybersecurity in underpinning the single ICT space. The ICT ministers agreed on a ministerial understanding on the single ICT space, in which they identified priorities as developing the ICT sector as a catalyst to foster closer regional economic integration, enhancing the competitiveness of the region through a vibrant ICT industry, and using the single ICT space as a driver of CARICOM digital economy and the transformation of key sectors. The understanding notes that the realization of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME, and the fulfillment of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals can be greatly advanced by the strategic application and increased usage of ICT and applying a whole-of-government approach. The ministers recognized the ICT space could only be developed with partnership and commitment of all stakeholders in the public and private sectors, civil society, and international development partners. A number of regional and international organizations and CARICOM youth ambassadors took part in Friday's discussions. Continuing with the news, the Grenada government has announced a grace period for the implementation of a ban on plastic products. The Non-Biodegradable Waste Control Act 2018 resulted first in a ban on the importation of styrofoam products in September 2018. It also placed a ban on single-use handled shopping bags, with a ban on the importation to come into effect February 1st, 2019. And by February 1st, 2020, no more of those bags should be available in Grenada. However, following consultations with stakeholders, it was decided that more time should be given to the wholesalers and shop owners to find alternative methods. During a sitting of the House of Representatives on Friday, Leader of Government Business, Honorable Gregory Bowen, said by March 2021, Grenada hopes to prohibit the importation, sale, and manufacture of plastic products. He said the act is in keeping with the 2035 Sustainable Development Plan. A plan, once implemented, will change the mindset of the populace and put Grenada ahead of several developed and developing countries. He said the ban will be implemented in 3 phases, following months of consultations with stakeholders. Phase 1 will be accomplished by March 2020, Phase 2 by September 2020, and the final phase by March 2021.
The prohibition of the importation and manufacture of the products will take effect on 1st March 2020. The second level, prohibition of the sale An offer of sale of the products will take effect on 1st September 2020, Mr. Speaker. And the sale, an offer of sale of food with or in the products will take effect from 1st March 2021, Mr. Speaker.
Single-use plastics, including straws that are attached to imported items, will not be considered under the ban.
Before it reaches the consumer, or before it reaches the importer. So the public must not be worried about straws, although it is a single item, single-use product, although in our new thinking we do not like it, and it should not be here. But for the time being, until we amend the act, that when this is attached to a product, a box of juice or something like that, then it is allowed, Mr. Speaker, and the ban will not pertain to it.
The bill was supported by Trade Minister Honorable Oliver Joseph. He said government is very lenient in the transitional grace period given to the wholesalers.
You have wholesalers and distributors who already have stockpile these things, and therefore we need to give them transitional period. Not many countries took that approach, Mr. Speaker. They put a ban because the fear was, if you had the transitional period, as the leader of government business mentioned, to 1st of March 2021, which is the third level, the feeling is that they will, between now and then, there will be no incentive to change until the time is closer, because they have up to 1st of March 2021. And therefore, they will continue to use it. In some countries, they have decided, no, the transition period will be just the stock that you have now. Like we did when we said from the 1st of September with the plastic shopping bags. So the act was passed, and we said only what you have in stock.
This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break.
Did you join the public service on or after February 22nd, 1985 and have since retired? This might be important to you. Government understands that the NIS pension may be insufficient to take care of your needs. So, while it awaits the court's ruling on the matter of pension for public officers, government has taken action to protect your quality of life so that you can take care of your needs in the meantime. Persons who joined the public service on or after February 22nd, 1985 and serve continuously in an established position for a minimum 26 years and 8 months and retired at age 60 may be eligible to receive an advance payment, which when combined with NIS represents 70% of their last salary. For more information, call or visit the Pension Secretariat in the Department of Public Administration, Ministerial Complex, 440-3767.
Welcome back. The new executive of the Grenada Poultry Association has been urged to become more strategic in promoting local poultry production and consumption in Grenada. The Grenada Poultry Association has been working towards attaining food security and alleviating hunger and poverty since 1994. This, according to Minister of Agriculture and Lands, Honorable Yolande Bain Hosford, is reflective on the Sustainable Development Goal of eradicating hunger worldwide.
Our efforts to eradicate hunger calls for us to feed ourselves, thus providing enormous opportunity for the National Poultry Association, and most importantly, for the poultry farmers of Grenada. However, I will be the first to say that this requires an unwavering partnership between the government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, and the National Poultry Association. We must begin to take a big picture view of this situation confronting us, and be prepared to work towards a common cause. Our journey must not for one moment be ad hoc, but must instead offer a clear roadmap for the development of a sustainable poultry industry.
Minister Bain Hosford was at the time delivering feature remarks at the annual general meeting of the Grenada Poultry Association at the upper level conference room in St. Andrew. She says government understands the challenges of the poultry farmers and recommits itself to assisting the association.
Every stakeholder can see his or her investment worthy of contributing to a viable industry. I wish to reiterate government's commitment to a viable poultry industry, for we know too well that government cannot do this alone. However, please be assured that government remains very committed towards creating an enabling environment for a thriving poultry industry. This is testimony to government's approving the 6 recommendations and, more importantly, commissioning the Poultry Working Group and the Oversight Committee to fast-track the implementation of these recommendations.
She says there are areas that the association must focus on.
A thriving poultry industry must premise on increased consumption, which is in most part is influenced by consumers' ability to purchase. Therefore, there must be a concerted effort to minimize the cost of production, which challenges both the government and producers to address the following: the quality and cost of inputs, cost of energy, improvement of facilities and farm management techniques, the ADM and Government of Grenada agreements, research and development, training, value chain development, and value add, etc. With these direct interventions, along with the 6 recommendations, I am convinced we'll have the necessary impetus for a viable poultry industry.
The new executive comprises President Jason Phillip, Vice President Joshua Lewis, Executive Secretary Sheena Belfon, Treasurer Vincent Williams, and floor members Egbert Laguerre and Ernest Mitchell. That story just ended the national report for today, Friday, November 8th. Let's recap the top story. CARICOM ICT ministers tackle the subject of roaming charges throughout the community. On behalf of the entire news team here at the Government Information Service, I am Rikisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Thank you very much, Rikisha St. Louis, and everyone else who were part of the production of the national report. All right, folks, and what we want to do right now is to take a look at the weather before we depart. And of course, I don't know why every time I say I go in, why like we have a customer. I think we like each other too much. So trying to cut out on our time is not working. Every time we say we're going to cut short, we still end up giving you almost a full program. Like tonight, we're almost doing a full program. You're just going to get 5 minutes for yourselves. But anyway, for the weather, it's expected to be partly cloudy, becoming cloudy overnight with light to moderate showers. Today's minimum temperature is going to be 23.5 degrees Celsius. The max was about 31 degrees Celsius. Winds northeasterly to east southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves 4 to 7 feet in northerly to easterly swells. A marine advisory remains in effect. Let's take a look at the weather for tomorrow. It's expected to be partly cloudy with the occasional light scattered showers. The minimum temperature expected to be about 31 degrees Celsius. The max 31 degrees Celsius. The minimum 23.5 degrees Celsius. Winds are east-southeasterly to southeasterly at 8 to 18 miles per hour for tomorrow. And seas moderate, waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. And for tomorrow, a small craft advisory will be in effect. And that's it for the weather for us for tonight. And before I leave, just to say hello to Ernesto, Lisa, Dorea, Rolanda, Ala, Danica, Shireen, Camille, Eugenia, Zaka, Lisa, Dora, Theresa, Lintona, Mom, Hazel, Charlene, Noreen, Mishi, who else I see here? We have Angel and Deborah. Peter and Rolanda are all with us tonight. We want to say thank you to Joyce and Ruben and Ribbon, Ventress and Sally, and just anyone else who I would have missed. I want to say thank you for joining us, and we will be back with you on Monday. And when we come back on Monday, then it's place mash up. All right. So take care of yourself, Deslin and Suzette and Shum. I see that you're there, and Kevin as well. All right. God bless you guys, Kathleen and everyone else. Have a good one. Goodbye. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say, ja. No. Good night, everyone, and please do have yourselves a safe and enjoyable weekend. All right, don't get yourself in trouble. Don't do what I would do. God bless you. Goodbye.